Welcome back to Well Played, presented by The Skim. I'm Caroline Hendershot.
And I'm Blake Morgan. We're actually recording a few hours early this week on a Monday.
Yes, we are.
Care to share?
We are, because I'm going back to the greatest place on the face of the planet tomorrow. That is Ann Arbor, Michigan. Home sweet home for me. It's not actually home. It's just where I went to college. I really hope that it's not freezing because usually, it did snow there twice last week.
Oh my God.
Love you, Michigan. Don't miss that. So anyways, yeah, I'm going back for some athletic event, and it's the first time I've been back since I graduated. So
Wait, what?
I know.
That's actually crazy.
Well, because everyone goes back in the fall for football games.
Like I did.
And hello, I'm busy in the fall.
Right.
Ma'am.
I forgot. You have another job outside of
that little football job that I do.
Right.
Oh. So yeah, not great time for me. So anyways, I'm going to go eat at my favorite restaurants and all of that stuff. And I can't wait. I'm so excited.
That sounds really sweet. I'm so happy for you. Also happy for us because we get to record at a normal time. It's 5:30 p.m.
Yeah, I'm not waking you guys up at the crack ass of dawn.
I mean, those are good moments as well. I do feel like a different person at 7:30 in the morning, though, I have to say.
Yeah, like for better or for worse?
It's neutral. It's just like I don't know her, but in a good way.
Okay. That's cute, I guess.
Yeah.
Love.
But I'm like happy to be there.
Happy to be here. Just happy to be here.
We have a lot of news about several major leagues this week.
That was a really good way of saying it differently this time.
I know. I was like, I'm not saying we have a lot to cover today. So let's see. We're going to hit the NFL draft this weekend.
Yes, ma'am.
NBA playoffs, NHL playoffs. And this has slightly to do with the major league. We're just going to keep this conversation here. But I just saw a recent job opening. And so I unfortunately think I actually am going to retire from Well Played because the new WNBA expansion team, the Golden State Valkyries, are hosting auditions to become a mascot for their team.
Okay.
The compensation is pretty high. $130 to $160 an hour. That's not nothing.
No, like that's something to consider.
You said I am sensing judgment right now.
No, not judgment at all. But I just have a few questions that I'm not sure you have thought through. A question for myself: what is a Valkyrie, and like what would the attire be?
Okay, so a Valkyrie from my 2-second Google search earlier, still kind of unclear to me. I could either be a horse or I could be a beautiful woman riding a horse.
Okay, totally.
They sort of look majestic. That's all I can share.
Okay, 2. Have you ever been inside a mascot costume?
No.
Okay.
Have you?
Yep, multiple times.
What?
Yeah,
I have.
And when? Yeah, it's part of the lore. My first internship out of college, my sophomore year, I worked for a AAA baseball team in Hartford, Connecticut. It's called the Yard Goats. And let me tell you, they put those interns through it. They did every job in the book, they being me.
I'm like crying right now.
Just wait. They had, first of all, it was called Dunkin' Donuts Park. So I was a donut. I dressed up as a donut. I dressed up as iced coffee, and I dressed up as hot coffee. And you know what they made us do? They made us run the motherfucking bases in a race in those fucking suits. You know who tripped and fell? Me. Iced coffee. Yeah. So, and let me tell you, in the middle of the summer in July, in a mascot costume,
my God,
shit gets sweaty.
Okay. Well, now I have tears in my eyes.
So just something to consider. That's all. I'm traumatized, and I'm trying to give you a fair warning.
Okay, so you're trying to protect me.
Yes.
That wasn't judgment. It was
it was love.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, auditions are next month. So if I just for some reason dip out, or if I just never come back, and you see,
it's like the meme of, if I won the lottery, I wouldn't tell people, but there would be signs. This is like, if you won the lottery, aka becoming the Valkyries mascot, you wouldn't tell anyone. There would just be signs.
Yeah. I would be in the Bay Area.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we'd never hear from you again.
You would never hear from me again.
Cool. Glad I mean so much to you. Okay, moving on. Yeah, that's all we got.
Well, I could share some personal stuff, which is that something
please.
I think that our listeners can probably relate to, and you can relate to. It's just that, you know, you're on the other side of marriage, right? You're about to get married.
Yeah.
You're not even married yet.
Nope. Correct.
But last night I'm
closer to the marriage spectrum. Yeah.
This has actually nothing to do with me. It's just as me as an attendee of weddings is that I'm not quite jaded yet about weddings because I've not really been to many.
Yeah.
Most of my friends are not yet married.
Yeah.
But I did get an invite yesterday, and encouraged us to book our Airbnb or hotel accommodations. It's in the Hudson Valley, this wedding, and it's in September. And I was just getting really depressed about how much money I have to spend on this wedding because I have to book a hotel. I have to get a dress. I have to give them money, obviously, because it's their wedding. Yep. And I just am looking for advice on how to cope with this hardship because I have no money. I'm a 26-year-old child.
No, totally.
You know,
I get it. Yeah, it's not fun. That's why I was like so anti-bachelorette because I was like, I don't want my friends to be spending extra money. Yeah. Like it's not a vibe. But also, you should just have less friends. Get invited to less weddings. There you go. That's my
hater era begins now.
That's my advice. Take it or leave it.
All right, got it.
Let's get into it. Make sure you're checking out our full-length video of this and every episode on YouTube. Just search for Well Played by The Skim. Or if you are an audio gal or guy, make sure you're hitting the follow button on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Also, feel free to leave us a review.
Please follow us on Instagram at BLAAs4KSE.
Boom. At CG Hendy.
Also at The Skim. And like maybe in a week from now, maybe later this week, you'll see a special video on my Instagram of footage I've dug up from when Caroline was an intern at a baseball stadium.
Nope.
As a mascot.
They wiped it off the internet. Doesn't exist.
Anyway, let's get into playing the field, shall we? We begin playing the field this week with one of our favorite segments we call Barely Sports, because truly this story has almost nothing to do with sports. Not even well, I guess the Derby has humans involved. Yeah. It's not just horses,
equestrian,
right? Yeah.
Riders.
So we cover...
jockeys, that's what they're called.
Right.
Sorry.
The jockeys. Anyway, who cares? We just needed a way to talk about the Kentucky Derby, which is kicking off very soon, and in a way that also involves who else but the Swifties. Swifties among us. Care to share, please?
Yeah. So the Kentucky Derby, just a week away, as Blake said. So they have this annual Unbridled Eve Derby Gala, which takes place May 2nd. And the charity fundraiser listed one of their auction items as a signed guitar by Taylor Swift and 2 concert tickets during her upcoming 2026 tour. Yes, let me say it again in case you missed it. Her upcoming 2026 tour. Oh, right. Sorry, I forgot. The one that doesn't exist. But yeah, she hasn't announced any 2026 tour.
Right. And the Swifties were like, hold the phone. Tour. Taylor.
Yes.
What are you talking about, Miss Unbridled Eve Gala? What are you saying?
Exactly.
And it went so far. I mean, of course, you tell the Swifties anything about Taylor. You tell her you tell them like she's using a certain type of sunscreen they're buying. They're just fucking selling that shit out.
Yeah, well, actually, they're looking at the sunscreen to see if there is a Easter egg on when she's dropping her next re-release of an album. Duh. Please,
I'm sorry, I forgot. I'm among a Swiftie.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the Swifties were kind of like scrambling. They're like, is she having a tour?
Yeah, like what
no
did
way.
we miss?
Right. No way her management would have let this happen. And by let it happen, like be announced at a Kentucky Derby.
Not the vibe.
Charity gala?
Not the vibe.
And so the gala's co-founder, Tammy York Day, did take on to social media to clarify that the listing should have just simply said 2 tickets to Taylor's next tour. All I have to say is somebody must be getting fired for this.
I hope it's Tammy. I am so peeved by this because you're just exploiting Taylor Swift's popularity for your own charity auction.
So you think she did it on purpose?
I think they
put... As in, like, put 2026 on purpose?
I don't know if they did that part on purpose, but I think they were naive. Okay, this is just coming... Whoever put this auction item in the auction, clearly... A, did not go to the Eras Tour. They just heard about how successful it was. And B, did not wait in that freaking Ticketmaster queue for hours and put their blood, sweat, and tears into that queue. Because let me tell you, I grew gray hairs from that queue line. Did I get my tickets? Yes, I did.
Of course.
But like, those are people that just don't get how popular she is. So like, by just like lofting it up and being like, oh yeah, her next tour, which will definitely be in like 2026, whatever. Like Taylor hadn't toured for a while before the Eras Tour. So like, what are you talking about?
You're so right. And this is so something that I would do.
Yeah. It honestly,
I would be on the chopping block.
You'd be like, what? She's definitely going to tour in 2026.
And you know what? I honestly wouldn't be surprised if Swifties have sent Tammy death threats. Let's be real.
I mean, usually they're pretty kind, but
really?
I think they're cutthroat, though.
I feel like they're crazy.
They're very cutthroat in protecting Taylor.
Okay, so anyway, all this to say, Swiftie.
Yes.
Caroline. What are the odds that there's a 2026 tour coming?
I don't think high. The girl just got off a 2-year tour doing the most insane shit I've ever seen. Like, she just put her back into that tour.
Badussy, yes.
Not gonna say that. That wasn't what I was looking for. Anyways.
Wait, but also the Swifties, they did point out that the World Cup is coming to America next year. And so all the stadiums where she would have sold out,
also,
they're not gonna be open for her.
Girlie's tired.
Yeah.
She needs a little bit
She
of
needs
a
a
rest.
full football season under her belt before
please,
she,
Please, Tammy. Also, like, do you have interest in going to the Kentucky Derby?
Me.
Yeah.
I'll go to anything. I'll basically do anything if it's free.
Honestly, that's exactly what I said because I was like, I love the fashion aspect of events.
I was thinking the same thing.
And I would never wear that kind of fashion, so I'd be like so into it for like a little cosplay moment.
I want a hat.
Yeah, me too.
I want that big old hat.
Yep, and it's just crazy.
This is reminding me actually of just really quick, this year's birthday theme. I already have it. Do you want to know what it is?
Oh my God, yes.
Maybe you could channel the Kentucky Derby for it.
Okay.
As many of you may know, my birthday is on Halloween. I'm quite anti-Halloween, actually. But I do like the idea of dressing up. And so my birthday theme this year is going to be...
I do love a themed party.
Yeah. You can steal it if you want, honestly.
Okay, I probably won't, but
it's a good one.
Okay.
It's like a true, clean, good one. Okay, what I want people to do is to wear the outfit in their closet that they always are like, I have nothing like fancy enough to wear this to.
That's a good
So
one.
we're just gonna like pull up to the club in like full glove, satin, silk, whatever you want.
Do you have full gloves?
No, I
Okay.
would purchase for this though. I want to feel like a queen.
As you should on
It
your
is my
birthday. As
birthday.
you should.
Yeah.
Little princess
So we'll see you.
diaries.
We'll see you in the derby hat come October 31st.
Okay, down. Need to acquire that outfit first, but yeah. Anyways, over it. Okay, so next one, our next playing the field story. Trinity Rodman is out indefinitely with an ongoing back injury. The Washington Spirit announced that she was taking time away from the team to manage the back issues, which have plagued her for years. Her agent said in a statement that Rodman was, quote, taking time away from team activities at the moment to meet with the Spirit doctor in London. She will return as soon as she is healthy.
Bummer City. That's what this is. Yeah, she's had problems with her back for quite a while now. Actually, in September, she was even taken off the field in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
Because of those back injuries. I feel like there's a lot of absences just generally in the Women's Soccer League. So she's out. And then another member of Triple Espresso, not injury related, but she is having a baby, which could feel like an injury to the body, you know? I've never been pregnant, famously. But I can imagine, tough on the body.
Famously documented. So the triple espresso is not really
No, they're not espressoing right now.
Oh God, love when we have the same thought. Yes, but a lot of people are coming after Trinity in the comments being like, why is she meeting with the doctor in London? Is she meeting with like Chelsea FC or like
Arsenal?
Yeah,
I did see that too.
all of those English teams.
Yeah.
And they're just kind of sus about the injury itself. And I'm like, girlie didn't fake getting taken off the field in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
So.
Why would I want that?
Also, as someone who is a back injury survivor, I am team Trinity Rodman. Like those things, because like you can't see them
Dude,
typically.
the back injury, it's like one of my worst nightmares.
I literally had a cyst in between L3 and L4 in my spine from rowing. Athletes get them from overuse. And it wouldn't have been a problem had it not been touching a block of nerves. So the nerves couldn't fire. So I lost all function of every muscle in my left leg, could not bend my toes.
I hope that you decide to watch the YouTube video, because I just like watched Caroline like outline her leg, and I watched it happen all the way down to her foot, and I was just like mouth agape.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because
did they remove the cyst?
No. They tried to drain it, and I blacked out. So they had to just shoot it with a little steroid injection, and then it shrank, and then the nerves could fire again. But like still to this day, my left butt cheek gets more sore than my right butt cheek if I am doing a glute exercise.
Heavy lifting, yeah.
No matter if I do the same amount, if I do more on my right, my left is still weaker to this day.
Well, okay, I believe that she has a back injury. I do.
Me too.
Despite it being an invisible injury.
Yes.
I think I speak less well at 5:30 p.m.
Yeah, maybe there's a method to our madness with the morning.
Yeah. However, I will say people being like, oh, maybe she's speaking to an English or French soccer club. Well, you know, good segue, because the captain of the U.S. women's national team, Lindsay Heap, she recently said that like part of the reason why American soccer players are going to Europe is because of the salary cap in the league.
Right.
There's more money, moolah to be made. Hey.
Money. And yeah, I think there's a difference between like salary cap, like a reasonable salary cap, and just like inadequate pay for what you're worth. And that is classic what women soccer players have been facing for long as this freaking sport's been going on, because we've seen the popularity between the U.S. women's national team and the men's national team, and there is a very clear difference there. So I just think like it's not just the salary cap, you know, like there's more to it. So it's frustrating. Yeah. And not here for the impractical wages.
Actually, it's fun. I not funny. I was watching the For the Win docuseries. I think it was on Amazon Prime, and it was documenting the National Women's Soccer League's lead up to the playoffs and the final game. I don't even know what you call it. Final game. Let's just say that.
The championship match.
There we go. Guys, 5:30 p.m. My brain is not firing.
You use your brain all day. It's not your fault.
Vibes. You're so right. Vibes.
You're so right, babes.
Like, what is happening? Okay. Anyway, and one of the players, I think it was Lynn Williams. She was like, when I first started out in the league, I was getting paid $12,000.
No, she did not.
Yeah. She was like, I was literally eating rice and beans every single day.
Shut
and like
up.
Fucking Slim Jims.
And that's on female athletes. Love equality.
Anyway, okay. Can we also talk about what else people are talking about Trinity Rodman right now?
Obviously. So she made her Players Box debut at her boyfriend Ben Shelton's BMW Open semis match in Munich this past Saturday. And she sat next to Ben's father and coach, Brian Shelton, and he ended up making it to the finals. So
good luck, Charm.
Love it. Love to see it. She was also just like such a cute little girlfriend in there. I was like, ugh, you're such a vibe. Like she looked cool. And I was like, ugh.
Maybe this injury life isn't so bad.
I look like that when I go to support Scott at his men's hockey league games.
Oh, he's not. Isn't a hockey league?
Yeah, like a men's league. Have I ever gone? No. Will I? Probably not. It's past my bedtime. They started like 10 p.m. That's disgusting.
Oh my God. No.
Couldn't be me.
No.
Like, love you, Scott.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on, shall we? Okay, the NFL draft is just a few days away. The first round kicks off this Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern, but before the draft even gets started, there's already drama, of course, coming out of Deion Sanders as per usual.
Wait, first, are you going to the draft?
I'm not going to the draft because this year it is in Green Bay, Wisconsin, and it is just a little difficult to A, get to, and B, there's not a lot of like big hotels because it's not like a buzzing city, so it's kind of hard accommodations wise.
Okay, so you'll be watching from afar.
Yeah, I'll be at the facil.
Okay, well, second question, because I was this story did come across my desk, and I know we've spoken about Deion Sanders before. I remember when they celebrated, I think her name was Kitty. She was like 100 years old, big Buffaloes fans, and that's how I actually learned about Deion Sanders. Outside of that, and his son, I remember did not participate in the combine, right?
Yes.
See, I remember things.
You're good.
I'm clocking it. However, I have no idea who this man is besides the fact that he coaches the Buffaloes. Why is what he is saying about his son's jersey, which we'll get into, being retired, why do we care about what he is saying?
Yeah, let me just set the scene
in this newest iteration of why should I care about this man?
Who Deion Sanders is, for those who don't know. He played in the NFL for 14 years, and he also known as Primetime. Now he's Coach Prime. He played cornerback and also like returned kickoffs and occasionally played wide receiver. He was like one of the most iconic in his time, iconic players. And he's a 2-time Super Bowl champ. He was all pro 6 times. He was a Pro Bowler 8 times. Like he was very good. He also is inducted into the College Football Hall of Fame and the Pro Football Hall of Fame. So he's he's that very good. Yeah, he's that girl. So again, big deal in the football world. And then cue our explanation of what he said. So essentially, the University of Colorado this past weekend retired Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter's jerseys. They were the 5th and the 6th players in all of Colorado football's history to get their jerseys retired. And they have yet to even go to the NFL yet. So that was a little bit of...
And Shedeur is his son.
Yes, sorry. And Shedeur is his son. So many were not really pleased with that because there's a lot of Buffalo legends that are still waiting in line to have their jerseys retired, i.e. the 1990 national championship team. Like, none of them have gotten their jerseys retired. So, of course, the backlash ensued, including Chad Brown, who is a member of that program's Hall of Fame, but also he said, if the players from the national champ team have not received such an honor, by default, this action diminishes, and for a new generation of CU fans, erases their greatness. I would never minimize the impact of number 2 or number 12, both Shedeur and Travis Hunter. They are amazing players, but this timing is poor.
Okay. So I saw that Deion responded to the criticism, and he said, quote, we're talking about Shedeur. If his last name wasn't Sanders, we wouldn't be having this discussion. Do you agree?
A little bit, but also...
So he's kind of like, is it like Nepo Baby vibes?
A little bit Nepo Baby, but he broke a lot of records, like passing records at Colorado. So like he was a very good quarterback while there. And obviously Travis Hunter won the Heisman, very good cornerback and wide receiver. He's like one of the only athletes in recent days of college football to play like almost every snap on offense and defense. He's very, very talented. So I understand that comment. It is a little Nepo Baby, but it's like, it's more so the speed in which it happened. Right. Like I think Travis Hunter would have eventually gotten inducted. It's more so the fact that it happened so quickly. Like, why did we feel the need to do it right now? So, I mean, I think Deion's kind of valid in that. Like, he agrees with people. But my problem is that it's the athletic director and the head coach that have the ability to induct or retire people's jerseys. Right. So, like, why did you say something to the athletic director? You know?
You had your chance to say something.
Right. So...
Also, if I were Shedeur or Travis, because they're both going to the NFL, right?
Yeah.
I'd be like, this feels like a bad omen. Like, I feel like I need to get into the professional league before.
Totally.
You know?
I kind of always look at, like, jersey retirements in, like, college specifically as, like, a combination of, like, the really great career that you have in college and then a little bit of, like, what you do after it, you know? So it's like, obviously, if you are stellar in college and then you don't go on to become an athlete after college, you should still be recognized for everything that you accomplished in college. But it's a little bit of like a balance, you know? So I don't know. Too soon. So like speaking of kind of Nepo Baby coaching vibes, have you ever been on a team where the head coach was the parent of one of the, one of the teammates of yours? Have you? Yeah.
I mean, it always happens. I feel like especially in soccer. I don't know why.
Oh yeah. Mine was soccer and also volleyball.
Yeah. Oh my God, it pissed me the hell off. And I was at the ripe age of like 11 years old, you know?
Of course.
But you clock it. You know, I remember, I won't name names. She actually does work in sports now. Oh. So I especially won't name names.
Good for her.
Yeah. She was great off the field. On the field.
Yeah.
You know?
I have to respect the soccer coach that I had that had a daughter on the team. Like, actively knew his daughter was not good. So, like, he played her for a little bit, but, like, would take her out.
Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, it has happened to me twice in soccer.
There you go.
It was like, I started out on the B team. I made my way to the A team, and on both of them, they didn't have that thing. You know what I mean?
I got
so I see. It's kind of like that situation here.
Yes, 100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So say lovey.
Okay, but speaking of, let's talk about the draft real quick.
Oh, yes.
So I already asked you if you got to go. We know that you're not going. Whatever. So who is likely to go, number one, on Thursday to the Tennessee Titans?
So the Titans need, like,
it's not a want.
It's not a want. I mean, it is a want. But, like, there's positions of need that you need on your team, obviously, but then there's also like the best overall player. So it's like, how do you pick, you know?
You gotta balance.
They need a quarterback, and a quarterback dictates a lot of your success in football. So they're probably going to go with a quarterback. That would be Cam Ward. He is coming out of the University of Miami. He's been kind of touted as the number one overall pick to Tennessee. But a lot of people are saying that Abdul Carter, he's a pass rusher out of Penn State, is actually the best athlete. But because of like teams' needs,
right,
he probably won't go like 1, 2, or 3. Like he might go a little bit later but if a team needed a defense than like a pass rusher, he probably would go number 1.
Okay, I see.
Yeah.
All right. And then speaking of Travis Hunter, I saw, wait, is he going to go number 2?
Yes.
Oh.
Like the Browns are projected to take him at number 2. But it's interesting because it's like, do the Browns need a wide receiver? Do they need a cornerback? Because he can play both. He wants to play both. So it's kind of...
Wait. What do you mean he wants to play both?
He said, I would rather play both, like cornerback and wide receiver in the NFL, or not play football at all.
What?
Yeah.
Why would you give up an opportunity? Like,
because I think Mans is like, I know what I'm capable of. And like, I know everybody has their opinion that like, it's not possible. I can't do it. I'm going to go prove all of you wrong.
okay.
Yeah. You kind of got to give him props.
Yeah. Okay, queen.
Yeah.
I just like logistically, I'm like, nah, you got to split time between the two.
I know. That's also like double the meetings.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot going into that.
One thing about me, I hate a meeting.
One thing about me, hate those meetings. Let's move on to our next play in the field. The New York Knicks won the first game of their series against the Detroit Pistons thanks to a 21-0 run. And as we record this, they are preparing for game 2 at MSG. But the Knicks star, OG Anunoby, may have special motivation behind him. And you mentioned it.
Yeah, actually, I've been sitting on this for a couple weeks now.
I thought you might have mentioned it in passing, but maybe we just talked about it off air.
No, we talked about it off air because I've been obsessed with this.
You have.
And I feel like I could contribute to the Knicks' greatness.
I think you
and here's
definitely
how.
could.
Basically, the story goes is that OG Anunoby, he really lights up when he sees a hot, gorgeous woman on the sidelines, much like myself.
Comes in, Blake. Here comes Blake.
Proof is in the pudding. Suni Lee.
Yes.
Comes to their game a couple of weeks ago. I can't remember how long ago. And he just fucking
Popped off.
He popped off. Same with when Anne Hathaway was at the game on the sidelines and he crashed into her. And so now his teammate and the host of the Roommate Show with Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart and some guy named Matt, who I don't really care for. Josh Hart was like, we need Suni and Anne Hathaway to pull through in these playoffs. And I just think I would like to, I honestly have been thinking about maybe putting a call to action out on social media.
I think you should.
Gathering the baddest bees in New York City, sending an email to the Knicks and saying,
100%.
if I can guarantee at least like 30 people, 30 of the baddest bees of New York City.
Can I get some courtside tickets?
Absolutely. Yeah. I think that they might go for it.
Yeah, I think.
What do you think?
You would have to dress like to the nines.
I would have to dress not like myself.
Yeah, probably.
I would have to get a push-up bra.
Yeah.
Caroline just eyed me. She's like, yeah, honey, those are going to need some work.
No, I just mean like thinking, yeah, everyone needs a push-up bra.
I do. Personally, I know that about myself.
You and I both, sister. Yeah, here's the thing. Like, whatever gets you going, that's on you. Everyone has their own motivation.
What was yours?
Proving that I was better than the person next to me, because obviously I'm disgustingly competitive. So that was...
Wait, you mean like your competitor, not like your own teammate, right?
Both.
Oh.
It was just like, oh, you thought I wasn't good? Haha, okay. And then I would...
That's a nice simple motivation.
Yeah.
I guess when you're rowing, you can't really spot the baddies on the sideline, right?
No, I
You're going too fast.
I used to like body check people when I played like physical sports, but you know, you're not really making contact in rowing, so less exciting.
Yeah. Anyway, if you're a bad bee, slide into my DMs. We'll see what we can do.
We'll make something happen. We'll make some magic happen at MSG. Okay, so Knicks aren't the only ones vying for a championship, because in the NBA playoffs at the moment, Indiana and Milwaukee, the Pacers overwhelmed the Bucks. Dame Lillard is expected to return, so Milwaukee could bounce back. And let me go into, I'm just going to run through them for you, if that's okay. So Russell Westbrook gave a huge spark to the Nuggets with an overtime victory over his former team, the Clippers. That might be the closest matchup in the first round.
I think it's because he saw us last week.
100%. Yeah.
At the
we
draft.
had the hot girl effect on him, 100%. And he just like maintained that all
Through
week.
osmosis, yeah.
Of course. Through osmosis. Women in STEM. The Timberwolves stole home court advantage with a convincing victory over LeBron James and the Lakers. I can't. Despite Luka's strong showing, the top overall seed OKC Thunder blew out the Grizzlies by 51 points. That's a lot of points. John Morant said his team will never play that poorly again. We shall see if they can
I'll
avoid.
believe it when I see it.
Yeah, right. The Cavs also blew out the Miami Heat. No surprise there.
Yeah.
And Steph Curry fueled his Golden State Warriors to an upset over the Houston Rockets Sunday night. That's the other series everyone has their eye on. And the Warriors are just like a completely different team since trading for Jimmy Butler. And he just shines in the playoffs.
Yeah, I hear they call him Playoff Jimmy.
Playoff Jimmy.
Which is funny because he has never won a championship from what I've heard.
From what I've heard. Yeah.
On the street.
But I think he just like turns it to another level in the playoffs.
Can he turn it up hot enough to get a championship?
To beat the Heat. That was pretty good. Okay, let's end on that note because that was good.
Wait, actually, do you have a team you support? Like that you want to win this year?
I don't feel. You know what? I'm gonna say the Lakers just because Luka. You know, I'm just.
We got an eyebrow raise from Sean there.
I'm just supportive of Luka because I feel like he was mistreated this season, and he looks like a sweet little boy who cried during the little tribute video that the Mavericks did for him.
Yeah.
And his head coach said some dumb things during his press conference today that made him look even stupider.
Right.
So you know what? I just feel bad for little Luka.
I want this for him so he can just shove it in Nico Harrison's face.
Yeah, I just want to give him a little squeeze.
Okay, you're.
Okay, sorry. I'm done. He just looks so sad.
Okay, next up on Playing the Field, I want to bring everyone's attention to the Stanley Cup because, hockey's not really my thing, in case you couldn't tell.
Yes.
However, when you hear this next story, I feel like it might get you a little riled up and excited about
It makes sense
Stanley
why
Cup.
this is Blake's story.
Right.
You know?
Okay. So I picked up on the fact that, and it's funny because I was like, actually, I saw that the Stanley Cup, coming up, playoffs, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, what's a pitch that I could bring to the table? And there was nothing in the news. This is something that I fully came up with on my own.
I'm so proud of you. That's on investigative journalism,
This is journalism,
folks.
babies. Okay. So if you go to the Stanley Cup Instagram account, you'll notice that I'm going to refer to her as a she because it's giving she energy.
It is.
So she was like Miss Worldwide last year, since the last Stanley Cup. She gets passed around, goes on these worldwide trips, and takes pictures with all these famous athletes, blah, blah, blah. And then
It's like a world tour.
literally, I noticed a switch up in her behavior, Miss Stanley.
Please explain.
Within the last couple weeks, she changed her Instagram bio, and it says, "If you want me, you'll have to work for it." In another recent photo, caption reads, "I'm ready to be wooed." Another, "I am the most wonderful time of the year." Caroline, does this sound familiar to you? Is this resonating with you in any way?
I love all that positive self-talk from her. I have to
truly.
say.
I'm like, I should just like be Delulu and put this in my Instagram captions.
You know what this sounds like though, Blake?
What?
And we've all been here before, so don't even try to deny that you haven't. You know when someone you know or yourself perhaps is going through a breakup and they are doing everything but saying plainly, "I am now single." They're posting stories more. They've archived all the pics from their Instagram. They start posting like the quotes about like,
oh my God,
self-love on their stories. Like, come on, we've all been there before, guys.
guilty as charged.
Yeah, it's not bad. That is what Miss Stanley is doing. She's like, "Hey, I'm in my single season and like I would like a new suitor."
If I send you a picture of the Stanley Cup, it's because I'm not fucking around anymore. I'm like ready to be serious. I'm looking for someone serious. I'm cuffed, so it doesn't really matter. Yeah. But that's got to become a meme.
Yeah. No, I love that.
I'm making it up today. But no, it did really remind me of myself after I broke up with my ex-boyfriend like 2 years ago because...
What were you doing?
I mean, I was just like on the gram,
Of course.
You started wearing less, going out more, all that shit. To the point where like at least 2 people had DM'd me and were like, "You're glowing / are you single?" Because you've been acting different on the internet.
My favorite thing is when you send someone's Instagram to like one of your friends and you're like, "I know that
you clock it.
This person is single. I know it. They're acting different." Yep. It's like my favorite shit.
Well, Miss Stanley is acting different and she's ready to be claimed by whoever in the NHL can get to her.
Yeah. So let me, again, just give you a little run the table of the NHL playoffs that are going on at the moment. So only a few series have begun. That is including the top-seeded Winnipeg Jets took down the St. Louis Blues in Game 1. The Colorado Avalanche blew out the Dallas Stars on Saturday night.
May I say avalanched the Dallas Stars.
Good one. Very nice. Love that.
Thank you.
They're the only team to get a road win so far. Meanwhile, Carolina Hurricanes, Toronto Maple Leafs, and Vegas Golden Knights all took care of business Sunday as expected. Scott, I'm sorry. He's a Devils fan.
It's tough.
Yeah, it is. As we record this episode, 4 more games are set to begin later this evening, including a home game for newly crowned career scoring leader Alexander Ovechkin and the Washington Capitals. So we'll keep an eye on that as the NHL playoffs also continue.
Sorry, I was just like sitting here as you were speaking, reflecting on what I just shared about me wearing less, going out more, making it very obvious on Instagram that I was single. I'm not proud of it.
No,
I want our listeners to know that I'm not. This is not a brag. This is actually shame.
No.
Shame.
No. Don't go all Game of Thrones shame on me. It's part of the healing process, ma'am.
Okay.
And like we all do it. Okay.
Okay.
It's
You're
okay.
Right.
We still love you.
Thank you. I needed that. I was like, oh, this is so cringe of me.
We learn and we
so
grow.
cringe.
It's okay.
It's time for a round of Send It. As always, Send It features 4 of our favorite viral moments from the week that you should be sending to your group chat. Miss Caroline,
I have been
take the floor.
sending them to our group chat on Instagram. Okay, so Phillies baseball player Matt Stram. I'm going to say that's how you pronounce his last name because there's an H in there that doesn't belong. But he's been told that he looks like Nicolas Cage. So because of that, he put the Declaration of Independence on his glove, obviously.
Naturally.
As one does. So either I have to say this man is Nick Cage in disguise or he's Nick Cage's son who Nick Cage doesn't know exists.
And refuses to publicly acknowledge.
This man is identical.
It's uncanny.
It's insane. Would I have put the Declaration of Independence on my glove? Probably not. I probably would have put Nick Cage quotes on my glove or just like his face on the back of my glove. I don't know.
Why quotes?
Because like movie quotes because I look like Nick Cage, you know?
Yeah.
It's more exciting than the Declaration itself.
I did recently watch Moonstruck, which features Cher and Nick Cage as lovers. I highly recommend.
Oh, okay.
Have you seen it?
No.
It's kind of a random movie.
Okay.
And I still haven't rewatched Legally Blonde. Yet here I am watching Cher and Nick Cage just like mac it up.
I would say a really rude thing to you right now.
You're going to hold back.
But I'm
because you
gonna
feel so
hold
bad for me.
Exactly. That's exactly it. Okay. Tell us the next one.
Okay. My Send It features this women's basketball player, college women's basketball player. Her name is Alexia Gassett from the University of Florida. And she took not 1, but 3 pregnancy tests on camera ahead of a Gators game. This was like earlier in the season.
Not just any Gators game.
Which one?
Going up against South Carolina, where they got spanked.
Oh God. Well, then that
Go ahead.
then that makes sense because I mean, these tests they all not 1, not 2, but 3 came back positive, and it seemed like she had a positive reaction. She's happy about it, but like she was just freaked out.
I mean,
She got to process it. Anybody would be, no matter how you feel about it.
As one probably is. We famously are not pregnant. But as one probably would feel shooketh to their core, even if you were trying, like, you know, it's just like new news.
Yeah,
so
new news of the day.
Whoa, you know?
I did do one step further and I looked at her dad. Like she posted a reaction that her dad did and it was so cute. He was like doing a little happy dance.
Oh, cute.
Yeah, would you take a pregnancy test before a game?
Here's the thing. My intrusive thoughts would most definitely get me to do it.
What? That's
like,
not what I thought you were going to say.
No, like I would be so curious if there was a feeling inside me, like the intuition's there, like maybe I'm not feeling 100%, I would, you know, be itching. And once I like you know, when someone's like, don't think of an elephant and all you can fucking think of is an elephant, that's me.
You know, I can't say many people have said that to me.
Weird. I don't know
Suddenly
who
I'm
you
thinking
hang
of an
out with. Weird. But like, I don't know how you play a game after that.
No.
I don't know how you get back and
in the zone,
equal and
your
like
life's
level
gonna
out.
change.
Yeah, couldn't be me. So kudos. Okay, this is a little 2-for-1 gymnastics. Send it. So Michigan gymnast. I know you're sick and tired of me bringing up Michigan.
not.
Guess what? Listen, Michigan gymnast Paul Judah and the Wolverines won their 7th national title in program history. Love that for them. Go blue. So after his vault score of a 13.966 closed out the win, he proposed to his girlfriend, who is another national champion gymnast at Michigan in 2021. Her name is Reina. I don't know how to pronounce her last name. I looked it up and I don't want to butcher it, but I think it's Gugino. Reina Gugino. We'll go with that. And first of all, again, like couldn't be me getting proposed to in a public place. 2, what were to happen if they didn't win the national championship? Like, would he still have proposed?
I had that thought too.
But 3, because they are both gymnasts from Michigan, both national champions, that feels like very meant to be for them. So I'm so happy for them.
Also so happy. We covered him because he went to the Olympics last year. Happy to see this come full circle for him.
I know. Pop off.
Also couldn't be me though. I'd be way too scared.
No. And then Jordan Child and UCLA were channeling High School Musical before their competition with their boombox as they were like walking and screaming.
Wait, actual boombox?
Yeah, legit boombox. Not like, I think it's probably like Bluetooth, but it's mood. See,
it is an actual boombox.
No, it's a legit boombox. Yeah. Okay, that kind of energy so impressive to me before a competition because not me.
I was gonna say there's like 2 types of people. It's like loudmouths before the game, and then there's like silent.
The fuck in. Yeah. And here's the thing though, like a rowing starting line, dead silent, dead freaking silent, and like that almost makes it more nerve wracking. And I would always like play it off like I could tell people were nervous, and I'd be like, we're good. Like, we're just going to race to the 500 and it's our game from there. And meanwhile, I'd be like shitting a brick. So like, I just really commend the people that can do that before a game.
I think that would be me. Like Jordan
100%. Yeah. 100%.
It's because I don't want to, if I get silent and like let myself think about it too much, I would get more nervous.
Yeah. Okay, you know? I got you. You
take
yourself
pretend
out.
that it's not happening.
Of course.
So our final sentence for the day is the U.S. women's national hockey team got the gold.
You betcha.
Over the Canadians. Sorry, Canadians. We love you.
Go USA though.
But... bitch. that was the vibe you just gave.
Sucks to suck.
Yeah, they got gold. And actually specifically, which was really cool, is that one player, her name is Hillary Knight, and she led the team to win the gold, but also she extended her record for most world titles won by a women's ice hockey player. So it's her 10th gold medal win.
Yeah, but repeat that back. She extended her own record.
Right.
And that's what a GOAT does.
Period. Okay. And then she also, the real sentiment though, is that after she won, she posed with the trophy in the same way that Kobe posed with
with the trophy, like sitting in her lap. Yeah. Head in hand.
Looking very like nonchalant.
Just like, so cool.
We also have to point out, she had a black freaking eye.
Girl, hockey is very physical.
I know. That's what I mean. It's like even goatier than Kobe's.
No,
you know
totally agree. Even though I hated the vocab you just used.
Goatier.
Yeah, terrible.
I know. It's because I've been FaceTiming my 8-year-old nephew way too much.
Love that for you though.
Yeah. But he just says stupid shit like that, and he's
keeping you young. You're welcome. No, I just love I feel like Hillary Knight is one of those names that you always hear in women's hockey, and it's because she's that good, and she is literally extending her own record.
Yes, and she also is trying to get onto the national team for the Olympics in 2 years from now.
Obsessed with her.
She has to make it. She will.
Please. Okay, so what's your one?
I'm gonna have to say basketball player and pregnancy test.
I was gonna say the same thing.
Yeah, it's just like too close to home. Too close to home in a way. You know what I mean?
Everyone's taken that pregnancy test and been like, oh, I really hope this isn't positive. So kudos to her because she
got through it.
If she can handle that, she can handle anything. Let me tell you.
Say that.
Okay, so that's it for this week's episode of Well Played. Make sure you're going to tune in next week because we'll be back in the studio with another episode. Blake, where can the people follow you?
They can follow me at BLAAA4KZE.
Love.
Listen, also, before I continue, my friends have memorized it because of listening to the podcast.
No, you have a nice cadence. Yeah. It has like a rhythm to it now. Yeah, love it. You can follow me at CG Hendy and make sure you're following The Skim at The Skim.
And watch the full length video on YouTube today. Why not? Yeah, try something different.
You can see my explanation of my back cyst. Really special. Until next time, thanks for listening to Well Played,
the only podcast in a league of its own.